Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. In our previous class we have learnt about startups. Okay, I told you that startups are the companies which do not have life not exceeding the period of 10 years after its incorporation. They must be registered as a private limited company or it is a registered partnership firm and will be having a capital of not exceeding the 100 crores. So like that we have discussed about the prerequisites of a startup. Now the question is, from where do they get the fund? Because you know, in commerce, whatever the type of business may be, the total activities run around the capital. If you have money, then you can start your business operations like anything. Okay, on large scale basis or small scale basis or in domestic manner or in international manner, whatever you do, for everything you require money. So when you want to start up an enterprise, clear? When you want to form a company as a startup company, you require money. So what are the various sources of capital to these startups? Okay, for establishment and running of a startup company, where do we get amount of capital from? That is the question. That is called as funding of startups. Funding means paise, amount of capital. Okay, amount of capital. Funds means capital. So from where do they get? All these startup companies, how do they procure capital? That is the point. Because we have learnt in the first year source of business finance. If it is a public limited company, it can go for issue of shares, it can issue debentures, it can accept public deposits, it can raise loans from various financial institutions. But these are the startups. They do not have much reputation in the market. They have not yet started their business operations on a large scale basis. So it is very difficult to get money, and at the same time these startups cannot go for issue of shares because they are not public limited companies. These are private limited companies, so they cannot go for issue of share capital. So they have to arrange finance in various other means. So what are the various means of procuring capital by the startups? We will discuss in this class. The first one is organic growth. Organic growth means on their own, rather than taking from others. The company, out of its previous profits or from their investment, the promoters, the people who start the startup company will invest the money. So from its own sources, it will create capital. Like already I told that it will have a period of 5 to 10 years of existence lifetime. So out of that, if some money they have saved, some profits they had, or these promoters, these entrepreneurs may invest some money. So they don't go for the outside source. So within the organization, when they collect the capital, when they invest the capital, that is called organic growth. Means rather than taking from others, they secure capital. They make the capital available within the own sources of the enterprise. Then startup loan. So the banks or government may issue loans to these startup companies. Small amounts of capital may be provided by the government agencies, some corporations or certain commercial banks will provide you startup loan. This is also one of the source. Then friends and family. It is very commonly known source of finance. So if you wish to start a business enterprise, as you promise that you will pay some interest, naturally your friends or your family members may provide you capital as you promise that you will pay them interest. I told you many times that nobody will provide you cash, provide you capital without any reward. Okay, for informally, for few days they may provide, but if you require large amount of capital for longer period of time, for few months, so you have to promise that you will pay interest. So if you pay a fair rate of interest, because rather than giving you, if those people deposit their money into a bank, they will get some interest as reward. So that reward you have to pay. So if you promise a fair rate of interest to your friends or your relatives, they may provide you capital. It is also one of the source, friends and family. Then personal savings. So every entrepreneur may have some saving out of their incomes. So your savings also you can invest into your startup company. Then supplier credit. Who is a supplier? The person who provides you material. The supplier, the person who provides you the goods which are required for your production or distribution is called as supplier. So we can get credit from our supplier, promising that the amount will be paid at a later stage. Say for example, I want to manufacture the markers. I want plastic for this. So I will enter into an agreement with the supplier of this plastic, saying that, sir, please provide every month some 2 quintals of plastic of so and so quality. So I will pay money after 3 months or 4 months. So because they too need some business and they believe me and they have got confidence on me that I will pay the low amount later. So by writing the agreement, they may provide me the material. So this material I will take credit from my supplier and I produce these markers. I will sell them in the market. After selling whatever the money I will get, out of that I will pay the money towards my supplier. That is called as supplier credit. For example, I am manufacturer of these shirts. I have got a ready-made showroom. I employ to few tailors and I prepare designer wear shirts. But I require cloth for the manufacturing of shirts. So I will enter into an agreement with a textile company or a wholesale dealer. So of different designs I will get the cloth. Okay, I take 2 or 3 months time. After getting the cloth, I make them stitch into shirts and I will supply that to various other showrooms and I will get money. Then I will repay the money to the supplier of this cloth. That is what called as supplier credit. Then customer credit. Sometimes before delivering the goods, we can take advance from our customers. Okay. Means say, I am a lecturer. I am going to print a commerce material. Say I have established a startup company. So different textbooks I am going to print. Say for intermediate, for graduation, different subject books I want to print, but I do not have money. Mine is a startup company. So if I have got a network of customers, if I have got very known students, well-known students to me and so many students are in touch with me in various groups and they want textbooks. For example, you students are studying intermediate for second year now. For next year, you want a BCom first year financial accounting. So that book I am preparing now, printing now. So what I can do, I can take advance from you. Next year if you wish, if you want to take book from me, so please pay me 100 rupees as advance for every textbook. The cost may be around 150 rupees or 200 rupees, say example. So from say 5,000 students, from each student I will take 100 rupees. So 5,000 into 100 will become 5 lakhs rupees. So with that I will buy the material like paper, I will give for machines, I will give for laborers. Then I print the books. So to prepare the goods, I am taking advance from my customers. The example you can take about jewelers. Suppose you go to any CMR jewelers or say any type of Lalita jewelers, etc., and you want to order a ornament. So you give them some design. So what do they say? They will take some advance from you. Okay. So if the ornament is worth 1 lakh rupees, they may take 75,000 or 80,000 advance from you and they buy gold out of the advance given by you and they manufacture the ornament and they sell it. Clear? So the investment may be collected from the customers itself. That is called as customer credit. Then leasing. This is commonly used finance by various companies, not only by startups, but various business organizations use this method. Means rather than purchasing the asset by paying the entire money, so they make the asset useful, or say the asset may be used by paying some annual rent. Normally rent is paid for month. Lease means we pay lump sum amount and we use a certain premises or certain asset for a long term period. For example, this building is there. If it is taken on lease basis, so what we do is we enter into a lease agreement with the owner stating that, sir, for a period of 10 years, we use your building for running of junior and degree college or some computer institute. Say we pay you 10 lakhs. So that amount is paid and we'll use the asset. Suppose if you have to purchase this asset, you may require 50 crores. But just by paying 10 lakhs and you are entering into an agreement, you are making use this asset. So that is what called as lease finance or say leasing. Then accounts receivable. Many times we have discussed it. Accounts receivable or bills receivable is a document given by prepared by the seller on the name of the buyer that he has to pay money after certain time period. So the person who has purchased goods from us on credit basis will sign the document promising that he will pay money after some months. That is bills receivable or accounts receivable. Many a times we have discussed it. So this document also can be used as finance. Then term loans. Various banks will give you term loans. In the banking lesson we have discussed about this term loans and demand loans. Term loans means where you are given the loan and you pay in installments, maybe for 5 years, maybe for 6 years. Demand loans means you take the loan and you have to pay whenever the bank demands you to repay. In single call you have to pay. There are no installments available over here. You may take loan from bank for 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, but as soon as the banker informs you to repay, immediately within one stroke you have to pay. That is what called demand loans. Then asset finance. It is nothing but keep your assets as mortgage and get the finance. So in our college we have got so many benches, computers worth 10 lakhs. So this 10 lakhs worth ownership document we mortgage with a bank or a financial company and then we borrow some money as loan. That is called as asset finance. Factoring means this type of documents are sold to third party. For example, a student is due to me 10,000 rupees. So she has given me accounts receivable. Sir, I will pay money after 2 months. So after 2 months I may get that 10,000 rupees. So in the meantime what I will do? I will give this document to my bank and I can get my money back. That is called factoring or discounting. Then crowdfunding. Crowdfunding means simply through social media or through various other channels, you inform your friends, relatives, known people that you require money. So crowdfunding means small amount of money is collected from large people. Small amounts are collected from large number of people. Okay. For example, you see nowadays whether it is fake or genuine, you can understand that if something happened, a very poor family requires financial assistance for operation of their children in a hospital which requires around 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Okay, when they seek the financial assistance from large number of people, so what do that family do? They circulate WhatsApp message or say in television, in newspapers. They give the article, they give the news that so and so family is in grief and they are in very sad condition that their son of just 3 years old is having a liver cancer and he should be operated in so and so hospital which may require 20 lakhs. So donations are required from various people. So please send your money to so and so Phone Pay or Google Pay or some account number. Like that we collect. You take cyclone relief fund. Various people. When that means we openly request that you give some financial assistance. So with this money is collected and paid to that family. So ultimately that operation is done. The family can be saved. This happens. It is not popular in India, but very popular in America, where students of Indian origin die in an accident or something happens to them or they require a lot of money. So simply their friends create a account and they set in the internet, Google. So known people, whoever comes to know about that, there it is transparency. In India, if that is given, so people will misuse. If nothing is happened, even they create some fake WhatsApp message and phone pay, they loot money. But in America, it is transparent, and they provide the details of hospital and everything. So various people around the America, they deposit some money into that account. So that fund will be used for the help of that deceased. That is what called as crowdfunding. So here we are not going to use the fund for in a sad situation, but here in a positive mode, when we wish to start a business, so we keep inform of all our relatives through social media or newspapers that we are going to start so and so, please provide us capital, means they can provide. Next, business loans. You know, various financial institutions and banks will give you loans to start an enterprise. Credit cards, already you know. Okay, debit card and credit cards, you know, that also you can use to buy the things. Then angel investors. Angel investors are those investors who provide you capital, but they are not much eager to take up the ownership. So they indirectly provide you fund. So you can be the owner and you can be the managing director, but indirectly some other people, they support you in a financial manner. That is called as angel investors. They provide you capital, but they don't want to take the ownership. They don't want to take the control of the enterprise. They are called as angel investors. Angels means they will be at the back of us. They don't come to the front side. They don't expose themselves to the society as entrepreneurs or as investors. They provide you capital, okay, in the indirect manner. That means they give us and we will be managing the business. So they will be at the back of us. So indirectly they will be providing us the finance. They are called as angel investors. Clear? So these are the various sources for a startup company.